our production, our main and most successful product is muesli. Oat, we call it as a oat program we have. So muesli is most important from that. Then we have oat biscuits, and then oatmeals, and preparing more and more products from oat. 1st January 91, I moved to rented offices, and I started. In the beginning, it was, let's say, foreign trade activities, export and some import. So I tried everything in the beginning, because I didn't know what will work, where is the success hidden. But quickly went in the foodstuffs, because fortunately the same date I started, also the free convertibility of Czech crown started, and a lot of new products started to flow in the market, and I was one of those who started to bring in new products and a lot of foodstuffs. Then we had a time when we were trying to resource different products under our own brand and putting it to the market. And we had, I think, 4 suppliers from abroad. They produce for us products like cereal, coffee, and different type of products, and then also Czech producers. But after some years, we found out that in the long term, it's a dangerous development for us, because with good orders we were feeding our suppliers. They were producing also their own brands and for us products, and they started to be our competitors. So we started buying used machines, and fortunately I had luck bringing to our company a lady with a lot of experiences, which developed for us the products. From this start, I would say important decision was about half after the start, in which way to continue, whether to try to bring cheap products to talk to majority of consumers, or to concentrate more to the branded high-priced products, and of course with the smaller quantities, but in a bright future for brands. And fortunately, I did evaluate the situation that future is in the brands. Second important thing for us was that after some 3 years, we started to feel that we cannot bring to our customers products which are described only in foreign languages, that we want to talk to them in Czech language, to talk about the product, to somehow persuade customers. We have almost 50% share on the Czech market and 35% in Slovakia. And there is some quantity of private label brands. Some of them clearly copy our packaging. And just 3 days ago I have seen new biscuits with the same type of graphic writing, which is from us. So this is one thing that we should move from the generic word, which is muesli. You know, this is not part of the Czech vocabulary. What if we put something which is really Czech? We did it already once, a long time ago, when there were cornflakes on the market, and there was translation which was kukuřičné vločky, which was not correctly Czech. We put different, and everybody now is using the word we have invented. So this is something I say myself, well, we will try it again. So we have changed this German writing to Czech, and there is a good thing on that it has 2 meanings. Not only muesli as a product, it's also think. And marketing way, we can use it many possibilities. And of course, in the beginning, we have immediately started think for your health. It's new. It's new. Just now, already, first products are flowing in the market already with this writing, and TV is ready with that within 3 weeks. This is for me again something special, because we have decided that we will start use as a models our employees. You know, we can have them in company a long time. We can next year again create something with them, because these are really normal people from families, so we do not need to have a special models for that. When I'm thinking about the history, when we started in '91, the Czechoslovakia was full of German and Austrian managers immediately. And they put a lot of attention, and they have got positions. After some years, English and French came, and Americans, you know, and it was much more difficult, anything to achieve in Czechoslovakia. The time, good time was in the beginning. So this is something I'm thinking also about the Eastern Europe. It's for us very difficult to do anything in Germany and France and the developed market, but Eastern markets are not as clearly divided and done the distribution among the brands and so on. And at the end, I've got the chance in Russia, and I evaluated that it's good market for us. Czechs has many advantages as a managers and as a nation in Russia against the others, because still there is some history behind it. And I must say also from my results, my experiences when we are in Russia, they understand us, and we understand them more than any Western nation. So I decided to go there, to build it, and we go step by step as planned, and we will put it now as our high priority, and I'm sure it was a good decision, a little bit brave. There are some money involved, of course, and also attention and energy of our people. But as I said, we have to go forward. We cannot stay on one place. We have to somehow move forward with things. For the whole company, it's not only our own EMCO products which we are producing important. Until today, majority of our sales, only small majority, but still majority, are brands which we are distributing in Czech and Slovak Republic from abroad. This activity is for us very precious, not only because of the financial point of view, but also because of the experiences we are gaining through many managers we are discussing with many products, each of them different strategy, and we see whether it's working or not. And in the beginning, even our people were for some weeks for training with these companies. So this is one of the most important conditions for, let's say, success we have. There are different foodstuff products we are distributing. For instance, French brand in pasta, panzani, Spanish olive oils, then Hungarian chocolates, German crisp bread, Vasa, Danish tulip, meat conserves. So this is these are two legs. We are standing on them, and every year improving. So that's our story now.
Quite a story. Along the way, clearly you faced and overcome some very major challenges. You talked about the separation of Slovakia and the Czech Republic, but a couple of other issues that I'd like to get your views on. For instance, Kellogg's came in here. That's the biggest competitor you can possibly have, so you have to face them. One could argue that in the Czech Republic and in Central Europe, perhaps the notion of cereals for breakfast was not as widespread as it is in the US. So you had a market that has not developed, you had major competitors, the biggest competitors in the world coming in. How did you meet those challenges and do so well?
This is relatively complex question. In the beginning, as you said, the knowledge of cereals was very low, and it was really difficult to sell, to start from the beginning. But for instance, there was a new movement in the beginning of 90s that young girls went to Britain as taking care about the children, returning back and learning and knowing about the cereals. I saw it was quite important, this knowledge among youngsters. So it went step by step. I must say that it's true, Kellogg started early in the 90s in Czech Republic, as well as in Poland, Slovakia and other Middle European countries. But their strategy was not successful. Also, not only in Czech Republic and Slovakia, but also from Poland they withdrew. They went through distributors, they didn't have their own organization here, and they didn't put so much attention. Maybe that was the reason. So they put the product a little bit high, they put TV, but people, when they saw new products, and so they all started to buy cheaper possibilities. So, you know, now I think all of us know that the build the brand is not a question of 1 year or short time and some TV campaign. You know, it's really building for years, mainly, usually. But in 97, cereal partners, that means Nestle with General Mills, they bought a factory in Poland, and they started being active in Middle Europe. And in the beginning, we sustained our position #1, but and they had also higher prices. But one day, Nestle they put the prices on our level, and they put a lot of advertisement, and then was the change that started to be successful, and then increasing the prices. And it was really a lesson how to do it. Big push for me in this strategy was my visit in the States, when I was looking at the meters of shelves with oatmeals and information on the boxes about oat, and this claim that oat can reduce the risk of heart attack, which is very rare. Not many claims are allowed like that. So this created to my thinking about the long-term strategy. And of course, we had also a lot of discussion, what shall we put in our products to fly on the functional food wave. But at the end we decided oat is something which we can rely on. This is so healthy, we do not need to put artificial vitamins and other things, because oat itself is something we can rely on. So that's one of things which are important for me. I mean, traveling around the world, looking in the shelves, thinking about the product, why are successful, what's behind it.
This company is clearly a reflection of you. I mean, it's your creation, and clearly your personality and your interests have influenced the organization. I learned that you were quite a sportsman and an athlete, and I was wondering if there's any connection between that interest of yours in sports, your success in sports, and what the company is like, and your focus on oats. Is there any kind of connection there that you see?
When I was young, I did a lot of sport, let's say daily. and still I continue today, but let's say twice, 3 times weekly. And not only me, my brother, my sister, my father, you know, we are really sport family, and it of course influenced me, and I consider all my, let's say, fighting on the market as a sort of sport, you know, and I'm not the alone in the company. We are meeting every week and looking at the figures, and it's like whether Arsenal was winning or not winning, it is the same with us, you know. Oh, we have achieved something, we are losing here and there. It's this mood, sport mood in the company, I think it's felt on everywhere. I must admit, and I think so, that sport was important in forming myself and forming the whole company. It was the case of this younger woman, Mrs. Eva. She started in our company as a marketing manager, and she was in marketing 2 years, and then there was vacancy in the export department, and I told myself, this is somebody who is really hard trying to push things forward. So she moved from marketing to export, and she is now with me, very important manager, deciding everything in export.
You mentioned earlier that there are some people who didn't quite fit in. So when you're looking at people and evaluating them, what is the balance between high performers and people who can be part of the team? Do you think of these as 2 different dimensions you evaluate separately? And what importance do you give to each, being part of a team or being a high performer?
This is a difficult question. If somebody is very important for results of the company, I can calm the others criticizing him of behavior like that. Actually, we have one guy there in a group of managers. We are meeting every week. He is in EMCO maybe 10 years, and he's not very favorite set from others, but his results are so good that I must always say, you know him, try to understand him, that he is like that. So I cannot say with one word that this is more important than the things, and I think it wouldn't be good if we only put friends, and on the other side, or there are maybe companies they just put just results, and I don't think it's also the best way. Some combination of the things, it's important.
If you were to describe this company as a person, how would you describe it? What kind of person is EMCO?
Friendship, democracy, long-term strategies. And fourth, you feel it from me, optimism. So I would say the good atmosphere, positive feeling is really for us important. When I say we, it's also showing that I'm not type of strong autocratic leadership. I'm more, maybe too much, democracy leader. When I come with the problem, I always want to hear the idea of other people. If there are majority of them, people I know for a long time, I appreciate their opinion. If majority says me that this is not correct, very hardly I vote against. But sometimes it happens because, let's say, because of longer plans for future, which they do not feel so strong like I'm feeling it. When I'm thinking about something, always I question myself 10 years, 20 years after today, what will be the results, and of course the same it is in company. That the today figures, this month figures, it's not important for me. The optimism is part of of me and of the company. So if there are some small difficulties, it's not important.
Your management team is a combination of people who have been with you from the start, like your vice president of sales, and some professional managers who are coming from other organizations with other experiences. How do you bring these two very different, possibly very different kinds of people together to work in the team that you were talking about?
It doesn't need to be that they are different, but it's true that new managers, what they are missing is the history, this atmosphere, why we are doing these things like that and not like the other things. So it takes some months, and I want to speed up this way of putting together the team through unofficial meetings. We regularly, twice yearly in the company, we have weekends which we are spending together, supporting by the company, and we are meeting unofficially as frequently as possible. So this is something I consider as important, how to put new people together with us. And actually it's it's not usual that the new manager comes and it gets top position. Usually is that through the years somebody who is putting all his energy in the company, and I see that he is somebody from our blood, then he's promoting upstairs.
Why are you so much involved in giving back to the community? I know you realize you're a Czech company, but I'd like to understand your reasoning behind your philanthropic activities.
Yeah. When I'm traveling and I'm looking at the big companies, how they are doing the things, I understand that the role of private sector in bringing up the whole society, it's important. I don't want to exaggerate it myself and company, but I'm feeling as a part of Czech society and somebody who can do for Czech society more than any governmental officials and so on. For instance, when I was only distributing to Czech Republic foreign products, I started to feel uncomfortably that I am killing small Czech companies with bringing foreign products successfully. And so since the time we started our own production in Czech Republic and exporting, I feel much more comfortable, let's say. And so generally I feel it as a responsibility which I have towards the people around me, the families which are working in our company, and society where we are moving or living. Our company has a production facilities on 4 places, so it has advantages, disadvantages, but everywhere we are trying to support small organizations there. Let's say some clubs of mothers with children, sport activities. So I feel that it's my responsibility to help the other society, the other people in Czech Republic. We had the good years behind us. We have achieved in Czech Republic good position, and if I again thinking what will be after 10 years or longer time, so I'm sure we have to go abroad. So export is for us really the future, because around Czech Republic there are huge markets compared to our market, and every percent our share on the big market, it's important for us.